Scourge. The guy truly needs no introduction. With him being a herald of Unicron, he is by far one of the most powerful Transformers that we have seen so far in this new rebooted universe. In the film, we saw him wreck the former Maximal leader Apelink, beat Optimus Prime in a 1v1 fight, force Mirage into stasis lock, and be the first person to truly kill off Bumblebee in a live-action movie. Now, something very interesting about Scourge is that when he kills his prey, he takes their insignia as a trophy and welds it onto his body. Throughout the film, we saw many insignias welded onto him. He had Maximal logos, Predacon logos, Autobot and Decepticon logos, and even Elite Guard, Wrecker, and Mercenary logos. This shows that Scourge has fought countless battles against a variety of Cybertronian factions, and the goal of this video is to determine how many people Scourge killed before Optimus Prime put him down. So without further ado, let's get to it.
Prime, you're going to die on this speck of dust.
Alright, so to determine Scourge's kill-death ratio, we first need to understand where he places the insignias of his victims. And well, thanks to the film, we know that he places them onto his arms in addition to his grill. Now, a common misconception I see people believe is that the logos on his grill end up becoming the ones that we see on his arms. However, this isn't the case, since when Scourge transforms, his grill folds up into his body, meaning that all the logos that we see on his arms are separate kills. With this in mind, we know that Scourge will only place his trophies either on his grill or on his arms. So in order to get an accurate kill count, we just need to count up the logos on Scourge's body. Now, when I set out to do this video, I thought that this task would be as straightforward as 1, 2, 3. However, I soon came to realize that figuring out Scourge's KD was going to be a lot harder, since I needed a boatload of reference images. So after taking around 100 screenshots of Scourge, I proceeded to make a chart for both of his arms and his grill, which spawned this monstrosity. If I zoom in, you guys will see all these color-coded markings. Now, marking all of these accurately was a huge pain in the rear, since some logos were visible in one image but in another they were impossible to make out. So I had to painstakingly go back and forth cross-referencing each image to make sure that each insignia matched up and were categorized with the proper number. So yeah, it was a ton of work that I'm glad is finally over. Now, after putting in over 6 hours of work compiling and labeling the logos, and double, triple, quadruple checking to see if my findings were in fact correct, I am pretty positive that the final numbers I came to are accurate. Of course, I'm only human, so there is a possibility that I missed something along the way. So in the description below, I attached a link to my findings, if you would like to cross-reference the work I did. Now, when going through the film, I ran into some problems with the placement of Scourge's trophies, which all stem from Scourge's left arm for some inexplicable reason. You see, in the film, Scourge has two designs for his left arm. One where he has this giant claw, which is the look that he sported for the majority of the film, and this design where his claw is retracted onto his arm, allowing us to see his normal hand. Now, the issue I ran into here is that when he sports this retracted claw design, his claw covers up some of the logos, and a few of the logos move to completely different spots. As you can imagine, this poses a significant challenge, since we would need to figure out what logos were covered up and which ones moved to different spots. And since there is a very little footage of him sporting this design, it's quite literally impossible to figure this out. So all of my findings today are solely based on his extended claw design, which I think is better to use as a reference point anyway when trying to figure out Scourge's kill count, since we are able to see more logos. Now, another issue I ran into is that Scourge's left arm has a few symbols that change throughout the film. When we see him on the Maximals' planet, he has a Predacon and a Decepticon logo on his shoulder. However, when he lands on Earth, the Predacon logo turns into a Maximal one, and the Decepticon logo turns into an Autobot logo. It's only until the final battle where they go back to normal. If you want an answer as to why this happened, I don't have one. But it appears that this goof started in the scene where Scourge tells Unicron that the Maximals left with the transwarp key. Due to this being an animation error, I won't be factoring in the Autobot and Maximal logo into Scourge's kill count. Now, the last issue I ran into has to do with Apelink's and Bumblebee's insignias. As we know in the opening scene, Scourge ripped off Apelink's Maximal logo and put it onto his left shoulder. However, this logo never shows up again after this scene, and actually disappears in the shot right after he puts it on. What's even more interesting here is that Apelink never even had a Maximal logo on his shoulder prior to Scourge taking it. Now, another error that was present had to do with Bumblebee's insignia. As we know, right before Scourge kills Bumblebee, he rips off his Autobot logo. Now, we never see Scourge weld his new trophy onto himself, and we don't see Bee's logo anywhere on his body, until it magically appears on Scourge's left shoulder after Prime kills him. Something that's really strange here is that the logo is now silver, despite it being yellow when it was taken off. However, I do have an in-universe explanation for this, since during the final battle, Optimus repeatedly shoves Scourge into the lava, and as we can see, part of his left shoulder gets engulfed by it. So it's not too far-fetched to say that the lava spilled onto Bumblebee's logo, burning all the paint off, which can explain why it is now silver. So yeah, those were all the wacky issues I came across when trying to figure out Scourge's kill count. And with them now being explained away, it's time to reveal to you guys how many Transformers Scourge has killed. Starting off with his grill, we can see that he has ended the lives of 6 Autobots, 5 Decepticons, 5 Maximals, 3 Wreckers, 5 Mercenaries, and 1 Elite Guard member. This sets Scourge's kill count to 25 confirmed kills so far. However, when we take a look at his arms, it gets a lot crazier. Starting off with his left, Scourge has slaughtered 7 Autobots, 5 Decepticons, 3 Maximals, 4 Predacons, 1 Wrecker, and 1 Elite Guard member, bumping up his kill count to 46. Now let's get the total number of kills by factoring in his right arm. Starting off with the bots, he has killed 7 of them, 3 Decepticons, 1 Maximal, and 5 Predacons, giving Scourge a grand total of 62 confirmed kills. Now, this isn't Scourge's final kill count since there are 2 more kills that we haven't factored in yet. The first one would be the security guard at the museum that gets incinerated. Now, though we don't see him firing the shot, we know Scourge was responsible since Battletrap has a machine gun and Nightbird uses katanas, so they couldn't have made this blast. Furthermore, in a later shot, we physically see Scourge shoot at the museum, and we can see the same type of blast, meaning that he was in fact responsible for the security guard's death, bumping up his kill count to 63. As for the other kill, we know that he corrupted Airazor to the point where he could control her, forcing Primal to put Airazor out of her misery. But since he didn't get the final blow, I will leave it up to you guys if you want to factor in that kill or not. So yeah, if we factor in everything, Scourge has a combined total of 64 confirmed kills, 20 Autobots, 13 Decepticons, 10 Maximals, 9 Predacons, 5 Mercenaries, 4 Wreckers, 2 Elite Guards, and 1 human. The numbers speak for themselves. The Terracon leader was truly an absolute beast. Now, something interesting about Scourge's kills is the fact that the Elite Guard and Mercenaries are among them. This is significant since we haven't seen these factions in live action just yet. Granted, we did have Lockdown, who was a mercenary, but we didn't get to see the mercenary faction that has been depicted in the cartoons. And with them adding the mercenary logo from the cartoons, in addition to the Elite Guard and the updated Wrecker logo design, the future is very bright when it comes to what characters and factions we could see in a potential sequel. And just like that, you made it to the end of the video. If you're still interested in some more Transformers content, check out this video where I discuss what characters were locked up on Lockdown Ship.